Alright, so I was just speaking with my cousin, and for context, she's a black doctor. She was telling me about certain things in one of the hospitals that she partners with that need improvement and how they can be more efficient when it comes to the preparation of incoming patients. And she spoke about a lot of different procedures that the other hospitals that she was working at were doing that she noticed this hospital can really utilize as well too to make their processes more efficient. My question to her was, have you given your team this feedback? And she told me no, but she did have a dinner that was coming up where she would have the opportunity to give the feedback. She let me know that she was nervous about giving feedback for a few different reasons, and we started to talk through it. I let her know that sometimes you have to be the first person to give feedback and step up, especially in the hospital when we're talking about life and death. I've been recruiting for 10 plus years and definitely haven't worked in the hospital. I feel like we change lives, we don't save them. But I have had to give feedback a number of times. And when doing that, there are a few things that I've learned over the years that's been really helpful. In our conversation, these are the things that we talked about. I told her there are certain things that you have to do before giving feedback and also things to consider when you're actually giving the feedback. So, when we think about what to do before giving the feedback, the first thing I told her was take your feelings out. There's a time and a place to speak with passion and emotion, but then there's also a time where you want to speak with logic. In this example, I told her to just kind of call our other friends and family who were in the same space for her to really just vent and get her emotions out. I also feel like just hearing from other people that are in a similar space as you is a good way to check your feelings as well too. Next, I told her to think about the current experiences that she's having at that particular hospital and write down all the facts and bad behaviors that are happening. Just sit there and brainstorm everything that you've experienced within that time. After doing that, I then told her to look at that list and then organize them from most important to least important. In the hospital, we're talking life or death. Next, I told her to think through which points you want to highlight at the dinner. Don't vomit everything out at once of everything that needs to be changed. That's a lot for people to intake. So what you want to do is maybe give them just a few things at a time. Sometimes giving a little allows people to work through some of those mistakes and changes before moving on to the next subject at hand. So that's why it was important to really write down that list ahead of time of what was most important. Next is really important. Based off the most important things that need to be changed, come up with suggestions for those changes. If it were up to you specifically, how would you solve those problems? This is critical because when you're giving feedback, it's helpful to have a solution so that it sounds like you're not just complaining the whole time. Last, before delivering, I told her to get some buy-in. Buy-in could look like getting someone to support some of the solutions that you come up with and understand the problems as well. Or buy-in could be some of the people that may actually be at the table that also support your idea. It's always helpful to have as many people supporting your idea when you're getting ready to deliver some feedback. And sometimes that's just not the case, right? Next, we talked about the actual delivery, when you're actually giving feedback. So for her, this is going to be at the dinner. For my family specifically, I told her make sure you smile as much as possible through the whole conversation. Smiling helps just because it's going to allow people to relax their shoulders and it's going to make the conversation not feel as heavy. Then I told her when she's giving feedback, use specific stories. Give examples of specific situations that you were in that were critical, that were maybe life death situations, or just ways that you can really improve the process. One of the things I told her is when you're giving those examples, take the names out of the story, right? So even if someone's sitting at the table and they are a part of the story, look at someone else, right? Focus on that person, even if you're specifically talking about this person over here. It makes it feel less directed and makes it feel like you're not just coming at them. Last but not least, you definitely want to give those solutions. Give the suggestions that you've already come up with in regards to how we can improve the process. When you give the solutions, give it in a way where it still allows for an open conversation. If you're a leader and you're supposed to be a leader in this space, you may have to just take full control and actually lead the process. But if you're working with a team, it's nice when other members of the team get a chance to contribute to some of these solutions and experiences. It also allows people to really feel like they're getting a chance to contribute to making the situation much better. These are some of the things that I've told her. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever given feedback before? Has someone ever given you feedback? How did it go? What worked? What didn't work? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for more information.